Welcome back to Vizaural Music, the music podcast where we talk about tracks that we found on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, and that were sent in by folks all around the world via our email address. My name is Roland.
My name is Craig.
And I didn't mention it early on in the previous shows. We keep forgetting to mention how do you contact us. I'm going to start off the show with that. As I mentioned in the opening, we basically go into Bandcamp. We just try to find new music, brand new releases. We found some awesome, incredible stuff that, if you weren't digging, you probably are never going to come across these unless you know people that play in these bands. And we hope that we'll be able to share those things with you. But we also want to get people who are listening to the show or heard about the show to send in their music. And right now we're a pretty new show. So chances are if you send something into us, we're going to play it on the show and we'll talk about it. You can contact us at vizauralmusic@gmail.com.
How do you spell that?
Vizaural music@gmail.com, all one word. And you can also find us on Twitter using that same name, Vizaural Music. We're, of course, are on YouTube. You might be watching this podcast as a video, and you can contact us through our YouTube page there, or even just post a comment below with a link to your band. Then we have a new website up. I don't remember the URL for it, but it's basically just a place to house all these things we just mentioned.
Wow, you don't remember the URL of our own website?
As
I'm trying to find it on my phone so I can upstage you. I got it. It's vizaural.music.blog.
Yeah, and that's just I'm not sure now with so many websites that exist if that's just the new WordPress way of setting up a website, but that was the only free version they gave me, so that's what we got.
And it works very well. And on that blog, I wasn't paying attention because I was trying to do your job for you. But yeah, we're going to have links to the podcast, links to all the Bandcamp sites or SoundCloud pages where we get the music from, so you can just do some clickety clicks and get over to where you can listen to the songs yourselves, the full versions of them, or listen to the albums. And like Ryan said, download them or throw some dollars towards those bands because a lot of them deserve it. Absolutely. Some of them don't, but a lot of them do.
And I'll try my best to, if you're listening as a audio podcast, you got this through iTunes, or now you can find us on Stitcher or Google Play, probably any place where you find podcasts, we should be there. But I tried to put in links within the song notes. It wasn't really allowing me to do that, so I'll try to figure that out.
Yeah, be smarter, damn it.
All right. But let's go ahead and jump into our first track here. A track by a band called Cough Drop with a song called...
Aren't you going to ask me what I've been up to?
Oh, yeah. Craig, what have you been up to?
I mean, geez, we should have some sort of setup, where
it's almost like I had to do this 2 times already.
Well, that's because some dumbass didn't know how to change his microphone setting on his own computer because he's an absolute dumbass.
All right, so Craig,
that dumbass is me.
Tell the world what I already know. What's up?
Well, it's kind of funny because you don't know it, and neither do I, because it's kind of a Schrodinger's baby situation here. Since we are recording these a little early, I may or may not have a child right now. I know I have a child in a belly, but it might be outside of that belly when you're listening to this, which is a very frightening proposition to think about. And I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, you're going to sit around your house and you guys will just kind of stare at it and be like, wow, that's like a living thing, and I hope I don't break it. And then you'll realize as they fall and get hurt, you're like, they're pretty tough. I'm probably not going to break it.
Well, that's not comforting at all. But I do like the idea of just laying around my house. So I've got one thing to look forward to. So that's cool.
I mean, I would say that the years where my kids are still pretty young. They're 4 and 2. But those years where those months, I should say, where they're really, really young, you kind of just... You nest, you just listen to lots of music. I actually played a lot of video games. I kind of got back into video games because you're not going anywhere. You kind of have to sit there and be quiet for the most part because they're going to be sleeping or you're holding them. And so it's a great opportunity to dig into things that you've been putting off. You keep saying like, oh, I was going to listen to those records. I was going to read that book. Well, guess what? You're going to have the time to do that now.
Oh, hell yeah. Especially since I'm lucky and I get a bunch of time off from work because I work for a company that's kind of halfway almost decent. So yeah, I get to have a month off for paternity leave, and then I get to take another month off throughout the year just for any rhyme or reason because I get 2 months of paid leave.
That's pretty nice. Yeah, enjoy that time. You should also recognize, though, you're going to be really tired. At least one of you is going to be tired, whoever is waking up every 2 hours. So you're going to kind of be in a loopy state for some time.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to having a full 1 month off, and then hopefully, eventually, my baby will learn to sleep. Because I apparently was a good sleeper when I was a child, a small infant child, and so is my wife. So fingers crossed that genetics is real.
No, it's not. She's going to be a terrible, terrible monster. Or he's going to be a terrible monster, whatever it may be. But you know, it'll actually make for some great listening because you're going to be in a different mindset. You're going to be tired. So when you listen to some of the songs in our future shows, you're going to be processing it through that exhaustion and that new mental state you're going to find yourself in.
Well, it's better than processing them through a hangover.
That is true. Well, you'll probably still be hungover. You're not going to stop drinking beer, so let's be real here.
Hell no. All right, well, now that we've re-recorded that,
Yep.
I think this time turned out way better than the last time. So
I agree.
People
Maybe a third
out,
time.
so.
We should just stop this and record it again.
No, that laws of diminishing returns.
That is true. Speaking of laws of diminishing returns, no, that's actually a bad transition into a really great song. This is from a band called Cough Drop with Mind Your Manners. So I'm pretty sure that I found this one, although as I mentioned on the last episode, there were certain songs where I thought, oh, I surely found this. I love this. And it was actually one that you had pulled from Bandcamp. But I just really like this jam. It sounds like a 90s kind of indie rock song. I kept thinking of the Pacific Northwest, although I have no idea why this track brought that to my mind, if there was a specific band or song that I'd heard in the past from there. Just really great vocals. I like how it kind of entwined with the guitar lines, and it was kind of like a sing-songy nature between the singing and the guitar playing. How about you, Craig?
Yeah, you did find this song, and I'm pissed at you for doing that because I'm supposed to be better at this than you. But I guess at the end of the show, we'll find out where this lies in our pantheon of episode 3 songs. Like you were saying, it does remind me a lot of other bands. Is that a bad thing? No. Do I want to listen to this song over and over, even though there's nothing special to it, and it does sound like everything else? Yes. It's a simple song, it's a catchy song, and it's a good song. And that's about all I have to say about it. But you know, it's like genre films where you just know if it's good or not just simply by watching it. It, by definition, is either a good version of the song or a bad version of the song or movie in the case of genre films. And I think they just nailed it up and down for the few minutes that this was in my ears. And I'm thankful for that. Yeah,
I agree. I think that's a good way of putting it. Really nice track. Go ahead and listen to the whole piece that they have available for you. Let's go ahead and get into our next song. This is from a band called Half Pipe with a song called Hash Halo. So the name was a bit hard for me to pronounce, and because the song title there's just too many H's here. And I'm sure, I think we mentioned it before the show, the first thing that pops into our mind is like, oh, Weezer, because they have that song that sounds like this name. I don't think this sounds a lot like Weezer. In fact, I really like this track, that it's just these great kind of guitar hooks. It's kind of this, fuzzy psychedelic pop. It's the kind of stuff that I like to jam to, and I thought this was done really well. I don't know if this is a band or just one guy sitting in his bedroom, but it was pretty well composed.
Yeah, like you're saying, you sprung this on me last minute because we didn't have enough tracks for this episode, and you're like, I'll find one, and then I just never checked the Google Drive, and then you told me right before we were recording, like, oh yeah, I threw up another song, and then like you said, my sleep-deprived, hungover brain saw a hash pipe, and I'm like, fuck, it's Weezer, I hate this shit. And then I listened to it, and it wasn't, but I just don't think the song is for me. It's too happy and upbeat, but in a real way, and not in a I'm pretending to be happy, but I'm really hurting kind of way that I like in my music. I did like those little breakdowns that they had throughout the song, kind of like the bridge where they just fall apart and kind of come back together. So that was kind of interesting. But like I said, it was too actually happy, and I didn't like that part of it.
Do you think this band likes marijuana at all?
100% yes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to be really committed to pot to be like, well, I guess half pipe isn't necessarily. I mean, that's gonna be a skateboarding thing as well, but surely,
all skateboarders are stoners. We know this.
Yeah. I mean, you got hash in the name, so keep rocking, bro.
Yeah.
Let's play our next track here. This is from a band called AlienDawg with a song called "Girls on Film." This has any relation to Girls on Film, the much more famous song from, gosh, I'm blanking right now. What's the name of that band? Girls on Film.
I know, but yes, I hear the entire song in my head now.
This doesn't sound anything like that, or at least it doesn't sound much like that. But what do you think?
No, it does not. This is the reason why Bandcamp is amazing. It's a Brazilian band. And the entire album is wonderful and perfect like this. And obviously, without Bandcamp, there was a 0% chance that I'd ever hear this. And though that's kind of true for probably 99% of the stuff that we listen to on here, but like it's just beautiful bedroom dream pop. And if you actually like open up the lyrics and read them, one of the lyrics is, all the fuckboys are laughing. And like I said before in episode 2, when you have like non-native English speakers kind of doing their take on English vocals, like you get things like that where obviously it's a great line. It's up there with Lou Reed's like, hey, she's just sucking on my ding dong, as
classic,
perfect lyrics. But like it's a disgustingly polished song for a home recorded album, and it's a great lazy day album, and everything about this song is wonderful and pure and beautiful, and you better like this, otherwise I'm going to fly out there and just make you listen to it again.
Oh, okay, that's not the worst threat. No, this is a great song. I don't like the band name. Anytime I see dog spelled DAWG, I don't know how to interpret that, but whatever. I've had bands with worse names, I'm sure. But it is a great track in that, it, like some of the tracks we talked about on episode 2, it seems like almost like a case study in a certain sound in a certain place. Clearly, this band is not from Sheffield, England, in the late 1980s, so they weren't there when this kind of sound was just coming out, but they sure seem to have loved it and learned it well and added their own twist as well to this piece. So yeah, it's a really excellent piece.
Yeah, in the immortal words of Dominic Toretto in Fast and Furious 5,
okay.
This is Brazil. And I did look through their... Sorry.
I was just trying to put that together, like, okay, that seems like very wise words from a very wise movie.
Oh, yeah. But no, like, they actually have songs where he is singing in Portuguese, I believe, in earlier tracks. And it's also very good. It's, similar music, but just in their native tongue, and it's wonderful. I don't know why he chose to go to English with the lyrics on this album, but I'm glad he did. And I don't know. I think I'm just going to say it's not my favorite song on this episode, but it should be. But any other week it probably would have been. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's not my best in show either, but it is an excellent song, and I realize we've had 2 Brazilian acts in the last few episodes, and I wish there was maybe a little more music research done by, I don't know, Vice or Noisy, one of those websites about the Brazilian independent music scene, because obviously it's this huge country with lots of people kind of, becoming a post-industrial or kind of a middle-class society, and I bet there's just so much crazy, great stuff happening that if you weren't digging through Bandcamp, you're not going to find out. Let's go ahead and hear our next track. This is one from a band called Honeypot with Life Until Now.
Trouble falling asleep. Think I've cried a little too much, more than I need. Do you think it's the medications making me feel weird? Do you believe the same as me, that I'm not really here? I've been selfish.
So I liked this. The first thing it reminded me of was, if you've seen True Detective on HBO in the second season, they have a real musician by the name of Lara Lynn, and she kind of does this very minimal, kind of like new country type singer-songwriter stuff that's really reverb heavy, kind of a single guitar playing while she sings these really sad, lonely songs. And this kind of reminded me of that, where it's really cool female vocals, very minimal guitar work going on, but just really complements each other well. What do you think, Greg?
Well, first off, I'm like 95% certain that it's a guy.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Their name it's Alex, so there's a chance that it is female. But judging by the picture, looks like it's a dude.
Either way, it sounds great.
Oh yeah, and like when I first heard this, I was like, huh. So this is what Daniel Johnston would sound like if he was of sound mind and body. Like it's got that Daniel Johnston-esque vocal delivery. Musically, it's not as scattered. Lyrically, most of the lyrics make sense. And this entire album and EP, to me, it's a goddamn masterpiece. We're obviously not treading in new territory here, like you're saying. It's just singer-songwriter stuff. But it's gripping, and it hits me right in the old gut. And like I think it was episode 1 where I was talking about like lo-fi garage rock bands where you could listen to the same song performed by 10 different artists and might only like one of them, and there's no reason why you'd like that one over the other 9. But yeah, this is one of those ones where it just clicked with me, and I just loved it. Basically, yeah, it's I've listened to this EP like multiple times, and it's just wonderful.
Did you find this one, or did I find this one? I don't remember now.
Oh, I found this one because
Okay.
it's good, man.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a great track. I would check out the whole thing as well if you have the time and the means to click on a link down below.
Yeah, and it's a short little EP. I think there's 5 songs, and each song's like 2.5, 3 minutes long.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at our next track. I'm absolutely going to butcher this name. So, Craig, you say this is Hungarian, yes?
Well, that's not the next track.
It isn't. I think number 5. It is.
Did I put mine in the wrong order?
You might have.
All right. Well,
Well, let me read it as best I can. The band's name is Padkorasada, and the track's name is Alkynozona. Okay, so now that I've obviously pronounced this poorly, hopefully I'm in the ballpark here. I think you found this one, Craig, so tell us a little bit about it.
it's Hungarian post-punk, baby.
Okay.
And I fucking loved it. Like you, I cannot pronounce the band's name, any of the song titles, any of the words that they're saying, and I have no idea what they're saying.
Even better, though. That makes it so much better.
I did do some due diligence and run their lyrics through Google Translate because I didn't want to make sure that there's some sort of fascist shitheels.
Oh, you have to. I have actually on Bandcamp come across some stuff where I'm like, especially from Eastern Europe, not to slam a whole geographic region, where I'm like, oh, this is clearly, some kind of fascist-induced music.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this isn't, because most of what I pulled from the lyrics were that they hate God and they're fascinated with death and darkness, which
that could be a little fashy, but I guess it could be a lot of things, really.
Yeah, I mean it's basically what any post-punk kind of punk metal type of music would be.
True.
So yeah, it's just I don't know. I love, like, musically it's really cool, even though from track to track they kind of have the same basic blueprint for the music, but like there's like, especially like rhythmically, but I don't mind that. I've listened to a lot of the songs so many times, and I just can't get over how kind of throwback it is to, like, I don't want to say it's not like Rammstein-esque or maybe like Fear Factory or like those types of, like, maybe like late 90s, early 2000s industrial stuff, which I don't know why it sounds kind of bad to say, but it's like, it makes sense for, like you were saying, an Eastern European band to be like 20 years behind the music landscape. But yeah, I thought it was great, and I really enjoyed it.
My notes are so sparse on this one. I just say, interesting.
Well, that could be good or bad.
I think I just was trying to pull from, like, how do I talk about this, and I don't know. You're right. It just says that post-punk sound and with other elements, more maybe modern elements mixed into there as well. And I don't know. It was interesting. That's all I can say about it, really.
How surprised were you when you hit play and you're like, this is one of the songs that Craig chose?
Oh, no, I mean, it sounds like kind of music you like. I wouldn't say this is beyond the realm of your wheelhouse.
Oh, no, yeah, definitely. But it's like, first you listen to, like, the AlienDawg song, and then maybe Honeypot, and then this comes on, and you're like, what the fuck?
I mean, that's what I like. I want to hear, in one show, I hope we don't have too many replicated, kind of genre staples, that we can show that, hey, there's lots of cool stuff, maybe stuff you don't even think you like, here's someone doing it well.
Yeah, I like that idea in the future when we actually have a good show once.
Nah. But anyway, Hungarians, you guys should definitely send in your music, and I will butcher your language in trying to pronounce whatever it is you come up with, but no fashy stuff. Let's go to our last song. This is by a band called Lilac Sun with the track called Hide. Start us off here. I wasn't a fan of these lyrics. I thought the vocal delivery was fine. I just, maybe unlike some of the other songs we've heard where they're either in a language we don't know or they're so indecipherable and mix so deep into it you can't hear what they're singing, so that they're singing about buying ice cream from McDonald's, I wouldn't know. But I could hear these lyrics quite clearly, and it just wasn't kind of capturing my attention. It kind of sounded a bit like, and I keep trying to place these things geographically, or like there was a place and a time where this type of music was made. This kind of sounds Chicago-like to me. It sounds a bit like, Touch and Go record, something like that. I'm not, again, sure why that pops into my mind, but I thought it was a fine track. It was, a lot of things have been done well in this song. So how about you, Craig?
Yeah, I guess I didn't put together the touch and go thing, but I definitely hear that. To me, it had a very Pinback feel to it.
Yeah, okay, that definitely is there.
It's just not as tight and polished as Pinback. I'm about to say something that sounds bad, but it isn't. Because it's like you're saying, it's kind of like just a very standard indie rock song, and there's really nothing special about it. But like the first track today, the Cough Drop song, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Like sometimes you just need, just a standard song is a standard song that's nice. What was I going to say? Yeah, I hear you on the lyric, like the vocal, not the vocal delivery, but the lyrics were, kind of okay. But like sometimes you just need a song that doesn't say anything. It doesn't do anything for you on an emotional level. It just feels good on that level. It doesn't make you think, but it makes you just feel okay to have that music playing in the background. And I kind of liked that from it.
I definitely, at this point in my life, maybe when I was in high school and you're really trying to be someone and you want people to know that you're thinking about big things, your music is like an extension of like, look at all these big high concepts that I'm dealing with via my music. And I'm at the point now, mentioning kids, like sometimes I just want something on. It doesn't even need to be about anything. It could actually literally be about buying ice cream at McDonald's. I'm like, all right, that's cool, whatever, so, and that's not a slam against it, like saying, oh, there's not high concepts here. It's just nothing that connected to me personally.
Yeah, and I think what really drew this song to me, it was the Pinback feel to it, because spending all that time in San Diego, and those guys in a plethora of bands down there that would play from time to time, it just made me kind of feel a little bit nostalgic for the old America's Finest City.
Yeah.
And I like that, even though I'm pretty sure these dudes are from Baltimore or Maryland or somewhere around there. But yeah, this is just like a little 2-song EP demo thing, and I don't think they're the finished versions of the songs, but I like the direction that it's going, and I liked just the idea of a standard rock song. And I guess I kind of, since you're the one that puts the track list in order for these things, it was kind of nice for you to kind of bookend the show with kind of 2 similar songs that kind of do the same thing with, kind of triggering the old memory center, and like, oh, I remember when pretty much every song on the radio sounded like this.
Yeah, I think obviously I'm a brilliant man, so that's why I did that. But I also was really intrigued when I opened this song to listen to it, where it said demo, and I thought, who actually has a demo anymore? Because we were all at the point where, I mean, what used to be a demo was this was our home recording before we go into the studio and then we make the real thing. And now, I mean, most of us don't go into the studio. Our studio is whatever tools we have to record our songs with. So the fact that they even refer to it as a demo is kind of interesting, rather than, well, this is the best we can do and this is what the final product is going to sound like. So I'm interested to see, like, if this is the demo, what is the later version going to be?
Yeah, or if that was like a tongue-in-cheek type of thing where they're like, we'll just call it a demo even though it's, you know, why would we do that?
That's very touch and go records too, I feel.
Yeah, that's true. So either it's a fun, clever joke, or they're doing something so old school that it's also a fun, clever joke.
Either or, it all works.
Yeah.
So well done, Lilac Sun. So Craig, we started with our last episode trying to pick a best in show, and I think we generally liked all these songs, so they're all ones you should all check out. But what's the one that if you had to leave the rest behind and this is the one you're going to take to your deserted island, what's it going to be?
Honeypot, 100%, with no question.
Okay, I'm going to take Cough Drop, Mind Your Manners, because I started the show with that one. I just really like the way the lyrics and the guitar work together on that.
Huh, that's kind of surprised that you would have chose something that wasn't one of my songs.
Yeah, well, there you go. All right, folks. So again, if you want to contact us, go ahead and email us at visceralmusic@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter, Visceral Music. Go to our YouTube channel, or maybe you're listening/watching this on YouTube right now, and we'll have another video up later. In fact, I'm working on one right now that hopefully I'll have up today about the Beach Boys. So, tap into all the stuff that we're creating and reach out to us, because we definitely want to read email or your ideas. If you have complaints, like in the last email where someone said, Craig, you suck, we definitely want to hear that too.
Well, I don't really want to hear that I suck. Maybe this time you can say that Ryan sucks.
Yeah, but we know that's not going to happen.
No, that's true. And also, the Beach Boys review has already been up for a while, and Ryan doesn't understand the idea and the notion of pre-recording something.
Oh, that's right. Yes, by the time you're listening to this, we have 10 other videos up. What are some? I'm going to review Creed, a great band. What's some other awesome stuff? Korn, perhaps?
Some Insane Clown Posse.
Actually, I do want to review Insane Clown Posse. Korn and Creed I will not actually review, but because I know so little about Insane Clown Posse, I might have to do a dive into one of their records.
I think it's insane that the last year, like the Insane Clown Posse, like the Juggalos and the Juggalettes have become some sort of like woke political force.
Yep. I don't, and this is a weird thing to add at the end of the show, but since we were talking about, we were trying to avoid fascist-inspired music, then we had to kind of look through some of the stuff that we were seeing, from certain parts of the world. I used to make fun of Juggalos, and now I realize, like, oh, that was just, that probably kept a lot of people out of, like, the alt-right and other kind of terrible things that we're seeing in the world today. Like, I wish there were actually more Juggalos.
Like 100%. It's insane to think about how, like, it's amazing, and I'm glad, and it's wonderful, and it's also hilarious to think that a group of people swigging Faygo with their face painted like clowns somehow have a better idea on the political heartbeat of America than the politicians that are, deciding the laws for everybody. So you tell me who the real clowns are, huh?
Oh, that sounds like a song title. Anyway,
yeah,
we'll get to the Juggalos someday. Anything left, Craig?
No, I eventually will have a screaming child, and you will probably start hearing my descent into madness because of that. And
sweet.
One day we will be doing things like Ryan said, the wheels on the bus, and banana phone, and just it'll be an all Raffi episode, and by then everybody will have stopped listening. So thank you for at least listening now.
All right, thanks folks. We'll talk to you next time.